something a little bit different on this video. We are going to look at my live rig, primarily the pedal board, let's be honest. So this is the guitar I'm going to be using. This is the baritone guitar that I use at live, which is a little Danelectro, single coils and longer neck than usual. This over here is the amp I'm going to be using, my lovely, lovely orange OR120, and it's sat on top of a 1x15 bass cabinet because low end is good, but the main star of the show, I guess, is going to be the pedal board. I don't want to go into too much detail tweaking any of the pedals. All but the last couple in the chain, they're already all up on the channel, so you can check them out if you want to see them in any more detail. But we are going to look at what's on the board and how they all sort of work together. So let's start right at the top end of the signal chain over here. And we start off with a buffer, tiny little buffer here. It's this little chap here, which is the buffer from a Klon pedal. It's made by Fredric, who we are big fans of. And that just sort of, I've got quite a few pedals, so that just keeps the signal going through all those pedals. That basically is my clean sound. That's all it is. It's the Klon pedal. Etc. That then goes into this, which is a Blue Fool, which is a Poodle's Pedal Parts GimpFX clone of a MXR Blue Box. It's got that extra switch on there which allows you either 1 or 2 octaves down. I run it with just the 1 octave down. It's pretty crazy and it sounds like this. Loads of chaos there. I tend to kick that in on solos sometimes if I just want some extra octave down stuff happening. Next along is one of probably my all-time favourite fuzz pedals. It is the Earthquake Devices Hoof. It's set fairly conservatively, but it's got a great mid-range and a great grain to it, and on its own it sounds like this. That then goes into our recently reviewed Snarling Bootzilla wire pedal. Almost straight after the demo this went on the board because I enjoyed it so much. I mostly just use it for the wire, although it has got the fuzz on it as well. The fact that it works well with bass is really important because I go from using a normal guitar tuned to standard to the baritone, which is currently in B flat, and I also have started using a bass 6 now, so having a wire pedal that keeps those bottom end frequencies all happening is really good. Then, yes, Devi Ever Soda Meiser. Much love for this pedal. It's set kind of chilled out on the pre-gain there. That's because I'm trying to keep that bottom end together on it. It gets kind of synthy and splattery, which is really, really cool. But the way I'm using it, I need the bottom end. Then this next pedal is probably the centre of my sound. This is a custom made pedal from GimpFX and it is called the Box of Holy Fuck. On the one side we've got a overdrive which is based on an OCD but gimpified, which basically means loads more bottom end. on the other side, this switch here engages a GimpFied IC Big Muff, an IC Big Muff with loads of bottom end, and that is the centre of my rhythm sound. As I'll show you, most of my rhythm sound is based around this side of this pedal, with other pedals run into it. Although I've shown you the other fuzz pedals, they don't tend to be turned on their own, they tend to stack into this one. It's just a fantastic pedal, amazing distortion sound, and it stacks really well with the other stuff. But let's get to the end of the chain. This is where all the modulation and delay stuff lives. First up is is it first up, or does it go to the goes to the depths first? Sorry, Earthquake Devices Depths, which is an optical univibe. I haven't done a demo of this yet, perhaps we will. This is really, really sweet on clean sounds. Really, really pretty. Tends to just get turned on whenever I have to play clean during the set, to be honest, because I love the way it sounds. Next up, we've got the polychorus. Everything there is set really conservatively because it's an unruly beast if you turn any of the knobs up even remotely high. But I've got it set for what is, let's face it, quite an 80s chorus sound. For my sins, I do use chorus quite a lot. The next thing in my chain is actually my tuner. You might wonder why the hell I've got my tuner there in the chain. It should probably be near the start. The reason being is I like to be able to turn it on to mute the rest of the chain and leave the delay, which is what's next, the Memory Boy, Deluxe Memory Boy with the tap tempo and all the bells and whistles. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, the Memory Boy series of delay pedals are the best sounding analog delay pedals that you can buy for any sort of sensible money right at the moment. I used to have a Memory Toy, but I needed tap tempo, so I traded it in. If anything, the Memory Toy even sounded slightly better, I guess, because there's less involved there, but it just sounds lush. Really, really pretty. Okay, so the way that most of my rhythm sounds work is that I'm stacking stuff into the box of Holy Flux. So, for example, on the song Sirens, I'll be using it on its own for the verses, and then when it gets back to the main riff, I smash the Sodomizer into it, which just has this big boost in the bottom end and this sort of real aggressive sustain in the mid-range, and that will sound something like this. And then, as it happens, as I go towards the chorus on that one, I do switch on the chorus for this big open chord that keeps coming back round. The other thing when you put the Sodomizer into the Box Holy Fuck is that it sustains literally forever. So obviously at the end of the set, if we have a nice slow doomy jam, then which obviously is loads and loads of fun. So yeah, the Snarling Dogs, the wire is a fairly new addition. I've got it placed where it is because then I can run it either before a distortion where it's going to affect the sound of the guitar going into the fuzz, or after a distortion where I can filter the distorted sound. So with the hoof that's before, the wire sounds really extreme, but if we run it into, say, the Box Holy Fuck, the basic sound of the fuzz sort of stays intact, but you have the expression that you get with the wire pedal. The hoof running into the Box Holy Fuck, I tend to use when I just need a bit more sustain, but I don't want to get that big bottom end that I can get with the Sodomizer. So there's a new song that we're working into the set at the moment where I might use that. So it sort of gives you a bit more sustain, a bit more grain, which is really cool. Like I say, I tend to use this little bit on lead stuff. And also, I'll use the overdrive side of the Box Holy Fuck a little bit on its own. That's quite nice going into the depths as well. So things get a bit spacey on this board as well, which is cool. Also, running this into the other side of the Box Holy Fuck, that's good for sort of just giving yourself a little over the top for lead lines and stuff. Kind of tightens up the bottom end a little bit, so there's less sort of chunk coming through. everything. That's kind of my rig. It's mostly fuzz. 1, 2, 3, 4 fuzz pedals, 5 if you count the fuzz side of the Snarling dogs as well. But it's all about getting the different textures running into the main rhythm sound. I mean, the rest of the chain, the amp's set pretty dark to tame sort of the top end that you get from all the fuzz, but I've always sort of been a believer in sort of brighter everything and then dark amp at the other end. Obviously having the 1x15s nice and dark as well. I'll be honest, this board does change fairly often, but certainly this sort of central area of it kind of stays the same. It's more sort of towards the start that I'll sometimes change stuff up, but I'm really happy with where it is at the moment, and I'm really happy with the tones we're getting out of it. So that is my board. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. This pedal, this pedal, this pedal, this pedal, and this pedal are all already on the channel, so check them out. The rest of them, if you want to see demos, let us know in the comments. Happy to do a demo. We tend to mostly do fuzz pedals, but hey, we can do some other stuff as well. Like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Check out the Bandcamp page, longfallboots.bandcamp.com, and see you next time.